Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. It's dOOKIE-fAT-sTACK time. Let's get started with these bulk reviews, my peeps. So, we only got like a few books that I didn't actually do a review for, but yeah, let's just get started with this. DC's Dark Multiverse, Blackest Night. If y'all read, and I hope that most of y'all read, Blackest Night, Jeff Johns, the Sinestro War that led up to all the crazy stuff that led up to this stuff, and then this itself, wow. Wow. This is a great Elseworlds comic book, like in the what if format. I absolutely love this. Guys, do yourself the favor of getting this book because you can't go wrong getting that book. Let's talk about the Dollhouse Family. Joe Hill House comic books. It's not Joe Hill that actually does this one, but this is a really good story. I don't know that it necessarily deserves to be in the horror section because I don't see any horror yet, except in the real world. You know, an abusive father, abusive husband. But aside from that, and a really toxic mom who just doesn't get what's happening to her kid. This may be one of those in the mouth of madness type stories. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't feel totally Lovecraftian, but I will say that this is a really good book. If you love the human drama with a little bit of mysticism thrown into it, like some weird haunted, not even haunted, just sentient dollhouse, definitely consider checking that out. How about we go to Year the Villain? That's not Ra's al Ghul and the Outsiders. That's Batman and the Outsiders. Go and check out my individual review for this. You get to see the inside of this cover also because this is a flip cover. Probably the best cover out. I'm sorry, the best cover that I've seen so far. Wow, really good. The book itself, oh, fantastic, fantastic. The cover really explains it. Ra's al Ghul trying to manipulate everybody's opinions of Batman. Also, a potentially huge change for Signal, depending on if this is permanent or not. Like an actual change to his power set. Oh, what's this now? Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda. This is the beginning of a 2-issue story arc, as they all are. And this is an amazing, amazing book, man. Really great team dynamics, interaction between the members. Every single voice sounds different, sounds like their own. Really good read. Invaders, issue number 11. I believe this is only going up to like one more issue, and I'm going to cry if that's really the case. Guys, this has been an amazing ride. An absolutely fantastic, amazing ride. This is probably the best of those issues yet. Of course, you have to have read everything that came up beforehand to really, really get it. But you could read this issue on its own, and you might not understand why they're where they are on this deserted island and why Namor is only a human right now. But you will understand the dynamic between these two characters, and it's a really good read, man. I think that anything that Chip Zdarsky puts his hands on is just going to be gold. Speaking of people who put their hands on things and it becomes gold, here's somebody else with the Midas Touch, Donny Cates. Like, it's going to break some heartstrings, all right? It's going to stretch on them and not even, like, pull them to the end. It's just going to chop them off with a katana. Like, dude, this is, cry-worthy. I have been in love with Vita Ayala's work for a while now, and now they're working on Morbius, the Living Vampire. Fantastic first issue. Can the other issues keep up with this? I don't know, but right now, this feels like a serious monster story. Exactly what Morbius is supposed to sound like. Let's talk about Punisher Soviet. Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. Garth Ennis, man, I love you, brother. This one, I'm just, like, so far, it's violent, it's wicked, it's evil. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not really feeling it as being, like, this amazing work right now. That kind of crushes my heart. Oh, man. Oh, man. It is Punisher Max, though. Go and check out my individual review. I was excited for it when it first came out, when I first read it. Having this little bit of an afterthought now is one of the reasons why I do the bulk reviews. dOOKIE-fAT-sTACK reviews, is because I want to know, like, how do I feel about it after the fact? Man, here we go. X-Men issue number 2 and Fallen Angels issue number 1. I did a singular live review for these. All of the Dawn of X comic books that are coming out, all of the X-Men related comic books that are coming out right now, I'm doing a live review midnight Tuesday night, technically Wednesday morning. that's live on YouTube. You can go and check those out. You guys can interact with me and everything, ask questions. They're full spoilers, so probably before most of you guys have read it, but it is what it is. Fantastic books. Like Hickman doing this amazing issue. Forget about it. And then this, the cerebral drama that we see with Brian Edward Hill doing Fallen Angels #1. Unsurpassed. 100% unsurpassed. Let's talk about Wonder Woman, issue number 82. This is the first issue that Steve Orlando is actually jumping on, and like he is the permanent writer now. We're not talking about annuals or anything. It feels like a bit more of the same. It almost feels like a rehash of what should have happened in the previous issues. Cheetah actually feels like a genuine threat in this one instead of randomly accosting people on the street. She's actually got a goal, and she's going after Themyscira. So awesome. Great to see. Let's move on a little bit with Hawkman, issue number 18. I had to get the variant cover too because holy crap, Richard Pace is a freaking beast with this, man. But the issue by itself, we see something a little bit different than the standard Year of the Villain. Venditti's like, okay, I hear you, yeah, so he got infected and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go a different route. All right? I didn't see him getting hit by any kind of batarang that had the magical powers in it or anything like that. I didn't see that. So this is just a very different sort of story. I'm down with it. Another completely different kind of story that I'm down with is Far Sector, issue number 1. Guys, Speculator, if you like speculating, there is nothing in here that we've ever seen before, potentially even that ring. Everything in this book is different. This is Young Animal. It's the only Young Animal book that I actually enjoy right now. We'll see how long that lasts, but for right now, make no mistake. Like I said in the actual individual review for this, this seems like a Black-centric book. There is 100% nothing wrong with that. I understand my place in reading this. When push comes to shove, I'm enjoying this so far. If I stop enjoying it, I'll simply walk away. I could give you my problems, you know, with a book, but whatever, man. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this is really good, and this is a better feel than Jon Stewart. You know, just, oh, let's just make somebody whatever, and I explained all that stuff in there. I think I did a better job there than I want to spend time doing here. Issue number 82 of The Flash. This is also a pretty good cover right here. The cover outside that you see is fantastic. Inside, all right, pretty cool, I get it. The Flash is in jail. He is steadfast. You'll check out the review or read the comic book to just know what I mean by that. This was a fun book. This is probably my favorite version of Captain Cold. That's King Cold here. Loving it. Let's talk about Event Leviathan, issue number 6. Oh, wait, I've got a better idea. Let's not. I tell you who the... Spoiler, I tell you who... in my individual review, I tell you who Leviathan actually is because most people don't want to read it, and I get it. Issue number 1015 of Dark Knight of Detective Comics. Like, they just changed the front of everything, so what are you going to do? Anyway, this is a really good read also. It's Peter Tomasi doing Batman. You can't go wrong. You simply can't go wrong with that. You get to see a whole lot more about Nora, and it's pretty wicked. Here's a book I'm probably going to stop reading now, but I'm going to start the reviews that I haven't actually done individual reviews for. Runaways, issue number 27. Yep. This is a very different Runaways book than I'm used to reading, than any of us are used to reading. The art is just not doing it for me anymore. It is what it is. Because they're trying to do superhero stuff now, and the art just isn't made for superhero stuff. Yeah, you're going to say, who's this fat guy right here? They're just bringing in new characters. They're doing a bunch of new stuff. They're making them superheroes now. It's a new direction. I get it, but I don't like it. And I don't have to like it. I don't think that I'm going to be getting issue number 28. It just doesn't appeal to me anymore, is what it is. Okay. Here is Mirka Andolfo doing Unsacred. Oh my God. First off, I think you guys know the, mental love affair that I have with Miss Andolfo. She is amazing. Her writing, amazing. Her art, amazing. Her stories are amazing. This is also one of those amazing books. There's a little tiny bit of nudity in this, mostly in the back when they show all the variant covers. Then there's, a good amount of nudity. Anyway, all this is a story about angels and devils who don't like each other, clearly, but their kids seem to really dig each other. And there's a lot of humor in this, and it's very sexy, kinky, and it's Mirka and Dolpho. So, in my opinion, can't go wrong. 100% can't go wrong. That just came out this week from Ablaze Comics, Unsacred. Let's talk about The Batman's Grave, issue number 2. There's a brand new character in here with very few words spoken in the first 2/3 of this book. And this book just didn't do it for me. By the time they started talking, they got into the relationship between Alfred and Bruce. It's kind of cool and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I just don't care. I genuinely just don't care. I don't think I'm going to be reading the next issue. This book is just not doing it for me. I tried. I really did. It's like we got 12 issues of this. It really feels like as if he gave them a script for 8 or maybe even 6. And they said, no, we're going to expand this. So they just put in this lengthy fight. In fact, I'm going to pull this back out and show you some of the artwork inside. And I think it's Brian Hitch. Yeah, Brian Hitch doing this. Warren Ellis doing the writing and Brian Hitch doing the, what do you call the art? And I don't remember where they actually have all the words for everything. They just have like the first names in here. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to look for it. I don't see it. Anyway, some of the action scenes in here, like, look at this. Look at this action scene. He's kicking Batman, looking at the camera. This is the kind of stuff that I can do with stop motion animation. You know what I'm saying? And make it look just as good. I love Brian Hitch. He is fantastic. I just don't think his heart was into this. Some of these scenes are just... not feeling it. I'm really just not feeling it. Like, some of them look great. Some look great. Like, you know, I don't know. If somebody has a problem with Brian Hitch, that's on you, brother. I personally like Brian Hitch's art. And I look at this and I just think to myself, he was just being lazy with this because this isn't the typical art that I'm used to seeing from the guy. Oops. That's a Snickers commercial. Yeah, oh, here's everybody. So here's everybody who actually made the book. Yeah, and even the colors right there. It says Alex Sinclair. This doesn't even look like something that Alex Sinclair would typically do. It just doesn't, you know? But, yeah, when push comes to shove, I don't know. This is like more than half the book, it feels, is just these two fighting, and there's very few words spoken, and it feels like they were just trying to expand something. It's like he's getting into this big fight with this guy who we've never heard of before. So if you're interested in checking out a brand new character, you want to speculate on this, by all means. You know what I'm saying? It's a brand new character. But the story right now just isn't really there. You'll start reading the story at the end. It's a really weird one. I look at this like, what the heck is even happening here? Even though I'm reading it. Last book of the week is Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 11. Roy Thomas wrote this. It's a bunch of people spitting on Conan, literally. He gets mad, breaks a tree, beats them up, goes and destroys a magic user that, oh, it turns out that he wasn't really... I don't want to spoil the book for you. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. But that being said, it does take me back to when he used to write back in the day. And I loved when he used to write Conan back in the day. He was the first writer in comic books who made, like, if it wasn't for Roy Thomas doing his work on Conan back in the day, the Conan the Barbarian movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger never would have been made. I'm being serious when I say that. Like, it's a fact. It never would have been made. So I see this and I'm just like, okay, this takes me back. But then I sit there and I remember, you know, the books back then, maybe they just didn't have the same feel as the books today. And if you want to go back and just like, oh, I want to live back in the 70s and whatnot or whatever. Okay, by all means, be my guest. I myself, I kind of look at, or 80s, I kind of look at it as, you know, this was good. This was good, but comics have evolved since then. And yeah, I'm glad he was only here for like 2 issues. It was great. We're going to be moving on to Jim Zub doing this now, and I'm really looking forward to that because I do believe in moving on with a modern day version of, you know, what we're looking at. I don't know. This just really didn't do it for me the way that I was hoping it would. But it is what it is. So it kind of felt more of a disappointment. Again, it was a good story. It just, I don't know. Was it rushed? Was it... just wasn't what I was looking for. It wasn't what I was expecting. Anyway, that's all for me, guys. And I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.